Good late afternoon, early evening to you. This is the extended weather report. I'm meteorologist Ted Keller. We had some nice rains this morning across at least a lot of the Ozarks. Not everyone got the best of it. Some got a little bit too much, but given the situation in the summer when we were just crying for widespread rain, I think we can take the little bit of flash flooding that we had with this. Nevertheless, it's gone on now. The highest precipitation potential is clearly now moving off into Illinois, Indiana, and parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. We are left behind with a lot of cloud cover and only a random shower or two popping up. And the mesoscale discussions for severe weather, those are the sort of pinkish outlined area like that one right there in south central Oklahoma. You'll see that pop up in the last frame. Others are popping up there in parts of the Dakotas along with a severe thunderstorm watch. But we just have clouds. No more major rains expected out of this weather system as it meanders along. We're taking a couple of breaks from that activity, but it will come back, and come back, I think, with enough to make note of. Here is, by the way, the overnight rain estimate by radar, and the areas of red are 3 inches. In the middle of that, there were isolated 5-inch totals, or even a little bit more. The storm total is 2.61 for Springfield, and if that had been a midnight to midnight calculation, that would have broken a record today. And it was hard to break today because it was a little bit higher than the days surrounding it. But nevertheless, it was a good rain. Flash flood warnings have now expired, been replaced, by the way, by aerial flood advisories. And there were isolated 3 or even 4-inch totals I saw in parts of Greene County from that second surge of rain this morning. So there it is, the July total now estimated at about 6.29, with a big generous donation to that from last night's rain and from the rain back on the 26th. So we are going to definitely finish July 2013 ahead of the curve on precipitation. Now, this is the 7-day rain total forecast. There's a bullseye you'll see there of 5. Now, keep in mind that when this was put together by the weather prediction folks, that a chunk of that, at least 1.5 inches or more of that 5, was this morning's. But nevertheless, you can definitely see there's a pattern here of a higher than normal precipitation. That's because we continue to have these little disturbances aloft riding along the edge of the jet stream. They come along at fairly regular intervals. Sometimes they're very hard to forecast their timing, but when they come along on the edge of that hot air without the humidity that we expect in the summer, they are often pretty good at generating clusters of showers and thunderstorms which travel along the length of the precipitation. So they come out of Nebraska and Kansas, and they come at us from that direction. And the 6 to 7 day precipitation probability chart prepared by the climate folks over in Washington kind of mirror that same kind of pattern of an above normal percentage of precipitation from the Central Plains, Kansas in particular, right through the Ozarks and down into Mississippi and Alabama. That's for the period August 4th through 8th. And naturally, what would come along with that would be a reduction in temperature, too. Now, we had a couple of hot spells back in July, but look at the recent cooling, including highs for 3 days in a row only in the 70s. And certainly that sticks out when in sharp contrast to last year. And when we get to late tomorrow, I'll publish one of those neat slider graphics that shows you a comparison between temperatures this July and temperatures last July. It's kind of a jaw-dropping difference, to be honest. So here's a 500 millibar flow. This is forecast for Friday. Again, little wiggles in the atmosphere. These little things right here are these little red dots, are quote-unquote upper-level disturbances. They don't look like much there, but they're enough to initiate thunderstorm clusters, and the general flow is still cool there. Hot air is building under this, but you'll notice that that never really takes hold. And we look to Tuesday of next week. Again, the hot air is staying down in parts of New Mexico, Texas, and we, while we try to get that hot air built in, are continually visited by these little tiny things in the flow right there. And as long as that is the case, we're never going to get terribly hot, and we always have to introduce a chance for a shower or thunderstorm cluster, although, as I said, we'll take a couple of days off here for that. So tomorrow we're looking at a high temperature of 85, 87 on Thursday. Scattered rain and storms start up on, again, Thursday night and Friday, and we can't discount the possibility of those scattered storms on either Saturday, Sunday, or even into early next week. That's your extended weather report. Another one tomorrow.